Well, we've learned a new word during this winter storm called load shed. And load shed is when the grid operator tells all their participating utilities, and which SWEPCO is in our regional grid, we get the order, you must shed X amount of load, so many megawatts you have to pull off the system for the safety of the grid. And it's unprecedented. We've never had to do this before, but we did it yesterday. We cut some circuits for about an hour. That relieved the system, took the stress off the grid, and early this morning we received the order that we needed to begin this again.
It sounded to me like you just said that we have too much electricity. I can't possibly be understanding that correctly. Is that what you're saying?
No, we don't have enough electricity for what the grid is being asked to supply. So we're, usage meets what the available electricity is, and at that point, you've got to cut some usage somewhere.
Okay, let me ask you this, because people are saying it, and I want you to respond. The demand for electricity in those August 110-degree days seems to be much higher, but we don't talk about those rolling blackouts then. Why the difference now? Can you help me understand it? We have had times in the heat of the summer where it's close, but it's never been an issue. We were able to utilize wind power, solar power, all of that. This is really unprecedented because not only do people have their central heat and air going, numerous people have electric heaters plugged in. You're trying to keep your pipes warm. You're doing a lot of different things. And that has just caused the usage to skyrocket. And again, it's not just here in the SWEPCO territory. We're talking about the larger grid that covers a large part of the southern U.S. where the winter storm is hit. And, frankly, our houses aren't built for weather like this.
Michael, just to clarify, because you started the rolling blackouts for our area a little bit yesterday, then called it off. Is it back on for today? Is there a schedule for parts of town? If it is, just clean that up for me just a second.
It did begin again this morning around 7 o'clock. I'm aware of a South Bossier circuit and a North Bossier circuit that are both involved. I have not seen the complete list yet. And that's largely because it's very fluid. As you turn a circuit off, you have to see what the impact is, how many megawatts you have saved the system, and we have a number that we have to work toward as we turn these off. We're not going to pick on one area multiple times. We have a list of all of our circuits, and we'll be working through that list as long as we need to do these rolling.
And it's 1 hour, 60 minutes. What's the length of time again?
We are told that it could be 2 to 3 hours. Yesterday, they did not even last an hour. We were able to get enough load off that the grid recovered. So what we hope is that we don't go over 2 hours. But we're just going to have to see how the day plays out.
The governor says 100. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Again, we've been asking people since last week to prepare. I'm saying super prepare. Make sure that you've got your devices charged. Make sure that you're ready for a multi-hour outage, because with the temperatures outside, it doesn't matter how nice a house you have, how poor a house you have, it's going to get cold inside.
The governor says 100,000 are without power today across our state. What's the impact here locally? The rolling blackouts include it all. How many are in the dark right now, and what are you worried about tonight as ice is on the way?
Well, I'll start with the ice first. That has us worried very much because, as we all know, it doesn't take but about a quarter inch of ice to begin pulling trees down and to the weight begin to take down electric lines and electric poles. We are currently in the Shreveport area. We're about 26,000 outages from what we call our valley area, which is Stonewall south to Leesville. We have about 6,200 outages at the moment.
Okay, and that you anticipate could impact way more people after this ice starts coming, right? It could. We're prepared. We're beginning to set up base camps like we did during Hurricane Laura and Hurricane Delta. We plan right now to have 5 base camps, and we have as many as 3,000 workers coming in to staff those camps and be ready just as soon as conditions allow them to get out into the field.
Not to just be overly negative, but if this is a storm that sticks with us through tomorrow evening, it's these could be some extended 4 days or longer outages, huh?
Depending on the damage, unfortunately, that answer is yes. If we lose lines and poles, and especially in rural areas, and it continues to stay cold, then the outages caused by the ice could drag out longer than we would like. If there's any hope, it's the forecast. Beginning Friday, it begins to warm up a little bit, and that's going to make it easier conditions for the workers as well as warm our customers back up a little bit.